2013 recipient of the Inaugural Outstanding Alumni Award is Dr. Paul Mason. In 2011. His list of accomplishments is as extensive as it is impressive, so tonight we'll only draw on the highlights. Paul works for the Woolcock Institute, a not-for-profit investigating the spread of tuberculosis in Vietnam. He's a tutor, co-convener and guest lecturer of various anthropology units, predominantly at Macquarie University, but also at the University of Tasmania and Sydney University. Paul was ranked as the second best lecturer at Macquarie University and 12th overall in the 2012 Lecturer of the Year Awards. He is a published scholar and has contributed to many anthropological journals, including Global Ethnographic, Access and Cultures Carols. Paul has presented at several international and domestic conferences in the field of anthropology and has undertaken field work with numerous communities around the world. Amongst Paul's current writing projects, he's collaborating on a book about ageing in Australia and working on a children's book about tuberculosis, which will be translated into Vietnamese. On a separate note, one of his piano compositions was winner of the Popular Choice category in the 2012 Qantas Spirit of Youth Awards. Some of you may also remember Paul as the Semester 2 2011 Postgraduate Excellence Award winner, but let's not forget his most notable achievement, his convening of 2 colloquia for the GLP, World Music and Global Population Growth. Paul truly exemplifies the kind of drive, ability and initiative the Global Leadership Program aims to instil in its graduates. His passion for learning and teaching is an inspiration for all of us. The GLP are incredibly proud to present an inaugural Outstanding Alumni Award to Dr. Paul Mason.
In receiving this generous acknowledgement, I would like to thank the numerous communities with whom I work. First of all, I would like to thank the team of people in the Global Leadership Program who make this whole program possible, the great culture of research and teaching at Macquarie University and in the Department of Anthropology, and also the multicultural arts communities that I work with in Sydney and abroad. I would also like to mention how fortunate I am to be working with a fantastic team of researchers and doctors at the Tuberculosis Centre for Research Excellence and the Woolcock Institute, who are helping to combat the spread of tuberculosis in developing countries. Currently, we are implementing screening programs in Vietnam that reach 36,000 people. Tuberculosis is second only to HIV in terms of mortality and in terms of infectious diseases. The teamwork that I've been privileged to be involved with is a big part of my capacity to contribute to something greater than myself. I'm certain that there are more than a few people in this room who have read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. In this book, there's a great story about a miner who caught gold fever and made a little bit of money by staking a claim and excavating a vein of ore until it ran dry. Hoping to find the jackpot of a lifetime, the miner continued to drill, but to no avail. He eventually gave up hope and sold the mine as well as his equipment to a junk man. After digging just 3 feet, that's 1 metre, the junk man struck gold and made his millions. Now, I don't measure my wealth in terms of gold, but the message of perseverance still holds. 5 years ago, I was living in a remote village in the highlands of West Sumatra. It should have been one of the most pristine environments in the world, but I was amazed by the amount of trash and rubbish that littered the most unlikely spots. In the middle of rice paddies halfway up mountains, I found shampoo bottles, noodle packets and cigarette butts that spoilt an otherwise incredible panorama. Deciding to do something about this, I carried a plastic bag whenever I went somewhere, and as I walked from point A to point B, I picked up rubbish and put it in the plastic bag. At first, people couldn't figure out what I was doing. The locals thought I was crazy and they weren't afraid to tell me. Some people even physically ran up to me and held my arms to stop me from picking up rubbish, thinking that I had some kind of mental illness. With this response, I lasted less than 10 days before I gave up. A year later, I was doing field work in the northeast of Brazil. One day I saw a group of people on the beach all wearing the same t-shirt, and they were picking up rubbish. It was visibly a community initiative, so I went over, asked them for a bag, and started picking up rubbish with them. Afterwards, we went to lunch and we shared stories. I told them about my lack of success in trying to pick up rubbish in West Sumatra. And when I told them this, the leader of the group looked at me and, pointing at the beach, he said, "No one used to swim at that beach. I used to clean that beach all by myself every morning for a year." Friends eventually joined me, and today people swim at this beach. They don't litter too much, and my friends and I only need to go pick up rubbish once a week, and sometimes only once a month. Listening to this story, I was humbled. I realised that during my time in West Sumatra, I had stopped 3 feet short. Because I didn't persevere, I will never know how much I had to dig before a change could have been effected. Change doesn't come in 10 days, but change does come from altering the habits that fill our everyday lives. The people I know who are changing the world are the people willing to get their hands dirty with someone else's mess, people who stop their cars to help another person cross the road, people who look after wildlife in their own homes, and people who, through small acts of kindness, bring a smile to the lives of others. The Global Leadership Program is a great opportunity to learn about international issues. The people in this room are students and teachers who have the initiative and drive to go the extra mile. The energy you bring to colloquia makes teaching a rewarding experience, but the perseverance required to make the world a better place doesn't come from the classroom. Everyone in this room needs to find their own niche, their own terrain to look after, their own space to make a difference. Everyone in this room needs to find their beach to clean.